Well, I have to say that I just finished watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I have to admit I'm not impressed. There's a lot of hype around this anime, but I just don't get it. Let's start with the characters. First, the protagonist, Shinji. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I found him to be incredibly whiny and irritating. All he does is complain about how hard his life is and how nobody understands him. Well, newsflash, Shinji, life is tough. Deal with it. But instead, he runs away from his problems and refuses to pilot the EVA when it's needed. That's not the behavior of a hero, folks. And don't even get me started on Rei. What's her deal? She's so boring and emotionless that I kept falling asleep whenever she was on screen. And Asuka? She's just a bad person. She's rude, arrogant, and she just doesn't have any redeeming qualities. And let's not forget about Misato. She's supposed to be in charge of protecting the city, but she's just irresponsible. I mean, she's in charge of these kids, but she lets them run wild and do whatever they want. She puts Shinji and everyone else in danger by not giving them proper training and guidance. And don't even get me started on her drinking problem. It's just ridiculous. And then there's the plot. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, these kids are supposed to pilot these giant robots to fight these monsters, but why? What's the point? And what's with all the religious imagery and symbolism? It's just confusing. And don't even get me started on the last 2 episodes. They're just a weird mess of imagery and symbolism. What was the point of those? What happened to Tokyo 3? What happened to the main characters? It just seems like a cop-out ending to me. And then they make you buy a movie to see the real ending. So much for being a self-contained story, right? Oh, and let's talk about Kaoru and Shinji's relationship. What's the deal with the sexual tension? It's obviously gay propaganda. I mean, why else would they be so close? And let's keep in mind, folks, that these characters are minors. And lastly, the theme song Cruel Angel's Thesis is just terrible. I don't like the foreign language, and I wish the lyrics were in English. Overall, I have to say that I'm disappointed with Neon Genesis Evangelion. Maybe I'm just not sophisticated enough to understand it, but I don't think that's the case. It's just a bunch of whiny teenagers piloting giant robots and fighting monsters. I think it's just a pretentious, overrated anime that doesn't live up to the hype. If you want real substance, watch something like Breaking Bad or The Wire.